charcuterie boards. We know they are super popular right now.
All right, lots of cheese, some fruit, bread, crackers, and some meat.
Okay, but don't get bored with your presentation. Sarah Juenemann of Grazing KC shows how to put together theme boards, and we're starting with dessert. Sarah, how do you actually lay it out and divide it up?
So I started with something I call a river, and it's just a little swirl through the center of the board. And I started with strawberries because they pop and they add contrast and color. I place these within the curve, and we'll work around the caramel first. So let's grab some peanut butter cups. Everything that we're working with is actually going to be able to be dipped into one of these 3 dips. And actually makes kind of a fun activity for guests. I work off of the shape. So since we had this round shape, I like to kind of outline it here. We will go with the apples next. So here is a handful of apples for you.
Okay, and do you have any tips and tricks for cutting them and keeping them just like this?
I put some lemon juice because when I do deliver these, it could be an hour before an event and I don't want them to turn yellow. So we're just gonna place them right here near the caramel and kind of fan them out. There you go.
And we've kind of worked off this circular shape here. We've obviously got the bright pop of red. What about this corner?
Okay, so maybe since there is a nice V or sharp lines, we've already done the swirl, we'll work with there. So I have some coconut macaroons if you want to take one.
Okay.
And we can just build out from the corner. Yeah, make some different shapes.
So is this going to be a triangle in shape?
Yes, let's work with the straight lines instead of the curve, so perfect.
Okay. What do we have in the corner here?
So good, it's cookie butter. It's one of my fan favorites. And I'm gonna let you do this. We will just kind of dump that right around here.
Okay, now I really hope I don't mess up this masterpiece because I mean, this looks like art.
It's called the dumping technique and you just make it work.
Okay.
There we go.
It's a little bit off the edge, is that okay?
I love it. I think one of my favorite parts about making the board is just letting it spill over and letting it be a natural flow.
Okay. And have you also mixed in the fruits so that if somebody has a sweet tooth that maybe they don't want to do all the chocolate, is this the reason behind it?
Yeah, so a guest could just take something like a strawberry or an apple or a blackberry, and I'm gonna use that same dumping technique to just fill this in if they don't want, you know, the deep chocolate or the macaroon.
Wow, this looks so good. Now, do you have any last finishing touches or things you want to add?
Yeah, let's break this and call it great.
Okay, well, Sarah, you put together one heck of a personalized board. It looks great. So Sarah recommends using personal items as well, and the glass that held the cookie butter was actually from Sarah's mother's wedding. In just a bit, we put together an autumn-themed board. Welcome back. So the next food board is an explosion of the flavors of fall.
Ooh, but we need to know how to pair it all and what foods belong in containers all by themselves.
Sarah Juenemann of Grazing KC shows us how it's done. So we have harnessed all of fall's flavors and put them into one board right down to the pumpkin.
Right, so I started with some seasonal colors. I actually picked out this piece of blue cheese and this fun goat cheese that's rolled in apricots and cranberries.
Oh my gosh, this is not your average cream cheese.
So we started with the goat cheese swirl and added along the fruits and the dried fruits to complement the colors.
Okay, and then you probably want to have something for vegetarians or vegans.
Right, so I always put a little side of hummus and I separate it in case people don't like the meat or cheese. Put some fun fall carrots that are dried out and pomegranate seeds.
And that smells so good. And the pomegranate seeds just really speak to you because it's red, it draws your eye in.
Perfect, yes. And even here we go. We can just be like pomegranates, add that pop of garnish wherever we want to, add a little piece of orange to contrast.
What about some grapes? Because, you know, that played a part in the last board.
Yes, grapes are a must on charcuterie boards, and I love this deep purple color. Hopefully they're falling right, not covering the river.
Okay, and can we also talk about some tastes that really go together?
Yeah, so these mozzarella balls go great with sun-dried tomatoes. I like to pair those. And actually I was recommended to put this blue cheese with a piece of dark chocolate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That does sound delicious.
So here, with our fall, fall is football, why not? Just add it on in. Chocolate is a must.
Chocolate's very good.
You can add it by the chocolate. And I like to separate the pickles and the olives because of the juices. If I was to place them on the board, everything might taste like pickles.
Yeah, so you've really used a lot of different containers here, and they're also working as that flavor barrier.
Yeah, so this is fig jam and it separates from everything else. Anytime I have a little hole, look, here's some pistachios. You just fill it in with a nice nut. there we are.
Okay, well that's perfect. Learning tricks of the trade to just fill up all the holes.
And every good charcuterie board has what?
Oh, well we need some crackers, right? Because otherwise you're gonna end up with some messy hands.
Perfect, so that is a trick that I have as well because we don't want the crackers to get soggy. And again, I put some pretzels in here because hey, I have mustards. If kids are at your party, they could just always have the little pretzel and mustard and whatnot.
Okay, well, do you think this cracker would be good for some hummus?
Oh yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try it.
Perfect.
Okay, this hummus is really good. And you know what, if the audio didn't pick up quite well, you could tell that that cracker was very crunchy.
There's some crunchy going on, yeah.
So one of my favorite parts is how the purples, oranges, and reds kind of mirror the colors of the leaves outside.
No, it was really cool. I loved that was her fall board, and it really fit in with everything that was going on there. It looks fantastic. I always wanted to get one of those boards and just have it for like a football game and just snack on it.
Yeah,
you know, you could share it, but I think I kind of want to keep it to myself.
Yeah. Well, this grazing board gives a whole new meaning to Brunch So Hard.
All your favorite breakfast foods are in one place.
Sarah Juenemann of Grazing KC shows us how to put together this brunch board from grocery store finds. So we all know that food can be the center point of any conversation, and this brunch board, it's gonna get people talking.
One of the reasons I started Grazing Kansas City is I just love anything that connects people, and I thought, what's better than food and drawing everyone together?
And what would this be perfect for? Because I'm getting a hint of flowers which are beautifully placed.
So one of the most common ways that I use this is for a bridal morning, bringing it into a bridal room, wedding party, also for baby showers, and even a teacher appreciation gift inside of their office. Could be anything. Definitely need some carbs. So here we go, let's start. How about in the corner, we'll just build out.
Okay, is there a certain way that you laid out this board?
I work with the colors, so thinking about where they pop, using fresh breakfast items, like we have these little kiwi berries, you don't have to peel them, there's no work, so we can just pop them in their mouth.
And I'd never seen this before. You know, was this just a happy discovery?
Yeah, it's definitely just in the stores right now. I know you
Guys, this is like literally, it's like a grape, but it looks like a kiwi. How cool is that?
So fun. Next, you can just add, a trick of mine is just add full cans or full jars to the board. So I'm gonna add some soft cheese that could be added to the bagels and some pepper jelly. We have a lot of sweets. And this has a little spice to it.
And when you're planning something like this, especially if it's for a group, how can you tell how many people it will feed?
Great question. Typically my customers fill out a form, and so I customize it based off the size of the board and the pastries.
We're taking a look at a little tiny pancake, and these are so cute.
Yes. Why don't you try this? It's a really simple touch, but if we were using this for maybe a wedding party or a baby shower, I'm just adding a cute little pic. I've seen people put game day pics in, anything to make the board fun.
Oh, that is so wonderful, and it really like ties together with the live flowers that you placed.
Thanks. Another addition to the board is just adding items that you have in your home. So this little jar actually was from my mother's wedding day. It was her cream and sugar glasses, and this piece of lace is my grandmother's. So anyone can do this at home. You look around your house, you probably have hundreds of trays.
Okay, and nothing is complete without a little bit of chocolate.
Right, so these are chocolate covered berries, and I add chocolate to all of my boards. I might be a sweet tooth.
Well, and a real hack here, those cute mini pancakes, you can actually buy them in the freezer section. And the toothpick, it really just set it all together.
Well, I'm super hungry.